So we're going to go ahead and record this session just so that we have it in case anybody misses the orientation. We've got a handful of people that may not have gotten the message, or maybe they're a little bit off on their time zone. Should we go ahead and get started, Kathy?
Yes. Hello, everyone. I'm Kathy Becker. I'll be working with you for the next 2 weeks and hopefully the next year as you're working on your practicum. We're really happy to have you join us. We were hoping maybe put your name, and we've already talked a little bit about your location, but your name and your location in the chat, and one thing we could learn about you just in the chat, and we'll go ahead and start. And so I've been with the Appreciative Inquiry since about 2000. I founded and started my whole new journey in life with my different experiences, and we'll share that with you wholeheartedly over the next 2 weeks. And like to let Heather introduce herself.
Yeah, thank you, Kathy. My name's Heather Martinez. I'm going to be your tech host for your training. I am a certified AI facilitator and appreciative resilience facilitator, and I teach a class at the Center for Appreciative Inquiry on bringing together visuals and appreciative inquiry for approach design. And I absolutely love this course, even though I took it in Las Vegas in person back in 2016. I can assure you that you're getting all of the same training. And to make the most out of this training, you're going to want to use and utilize the LearnDash and the discussion forums as much as possible. And we're going to really geek out on some technical stuff today. But before I jump into that, Kathy, do you want to cover anything?
I think the only the overview of the orientations a little bit deeper is we'll talk a little bit about Zoom. We'll go over the electronics. We'll really take you on a deep dive of LearnDash because I think we're really getting into that, understanding how the wealth of material. And I don't think we can say it enough because people often will kind of like, well, I'll just read the one thing that I need to do for the particular training or for the next reading. Really encourage you to just really take a deep dive over this next week and learn a little bit more about it. And I think that's probably good. I'll go ahead and let you start, Heather.
All right. So as a tech host, I like to check your vitals, and it looks like everybody's lighting is pretty good. Also want to make sure that your sound is good. So if you don't mind, just unmute for a moment and say hello so I know we can hear you well.
Hello.
Hi, Katie.
Hey, everybody.
All right, Martha, you look like you're in a field. And Dermot, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Excellent. Love your headset. This is really great. I also want to make sure that your speed is good. Now, I am going to put in the chat a way to test your speed. It's really easy. Want to make sure I've got that HTTP in front of that, so that makes it a live link. So if you can click that, what will happen is another browser window is going to pop up, and it's going to give you some numbers in gray. And when that turns black, please go ahead and either type that in the chat or unmute and let me know what your what your number is, and if there's an Mbps or a kpbs. And this isn't a contest. I just want to make sure everyone's got good speed. And there's a little icon next to it that's a little green arrow. And if you can hit that again, we want to just make sure that you're close in numbers. If it's varying by 50, 60 or more megabytes, what will happen is you might have a bursting issue. And this is just something I like to let people know. For the most part, we don't have a lot of issues here, but that's usually, your internet speed can be one of the things that really fixes a lot of issues. And some folks don't even know that their router or their modem might be going out. So these all look like really great numbers. So that's great. And yeah, mine wasn't as fast that second time. So it's not that impressive, Dermot. So again, it's not a contest. I just want to make sure everybody's not in the kilobytes. Thank you, Kathy, for adding yours as well. Wow, Kathy wins.
Well, and I have to apologize. I've got a wrap on my hand so often the wrong letter comes up. So yeah,
No,
it did.
fine.
It's pretty awesome. I was really surprised. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's great.
Yeah, great. Well, good. These are great speeds. And so if anybody's watching the recording, if you're under 10 megabytes per second, just let me know and I can give you some tips on how to speed that up. All right. So I know that some of you are dialing in on a laptop or desktop. That's great because we're going to be using a lot of the features in Zoom that probably require that. If you're dialing in on a mobile device, you might want to get onto a laptop or a desktop next week when we're in the sessions, mainly because, again, we're going to be using other technologies, and sometimes we're a little bit limited with that mobile device. And so next, what I want to make sure you have is the latest version in Zoom. Now, I'm going to put a link in the chat, and you can certainly click the link, but whatever you do, don't download the latest version of Zoom right now because it will kick you out of this meeting. However, right now it's saying for mine that the latest version is 5.16.6. And so you might think that you automatically have updates, that Zoom updates automatically, but that's not always the case. Sometimes they do manual updates so that people can decide if they want the latest version. And what I've noticed is that in the latest version of Zoom, we've got a new whiteboard, we've got if you have the latest version of Zoom, that fixes a lot of glitches with the breakout rooms. So we just want to make sure that you have all the latest features in Zoom if possible. Now, we are going to be working a lot in plenary, but also in breakouts in pairs and small groups. And when you're in those breakouts in pairs and small groups, chances are you're going to be building things together. And so what I mean by that is you might be putting together a collage of images, or you might be writing some things together. And so what I'd like to invite you to do is use whatever technology is fastest, easiest, and available to you. So while you can use the whiteboard function in Zoom, I'm totally supportive of that. Just know that whiteboard has changed over the year, and so there's lots of different versions of that coming out, and depending on who your company is and if you have the latest version. I know I've worked with a company recently that they wouldn't let them have the latest version of Zoom. So just know that if you ever go into a breakout, just to make sure everything's good when you come back into plenary, go ahead and take a screenshot of whatever you're creating so that we don't lose all that great work you have. And I'll be capturing those and putting those on the discussion forum. Now, I want to just do a quick ask. Is this anyone's first time taking a training on Zoom? I didn't think so. We've been here long enough. We used to have this old antiquated slide that went through all the functions of Zoom. So I'm not going to bore you, but what I do want to do is show you just a quick screen here, and you're welcome to take a screenshot of this if you need to. We're going to be using the annotation tool a lot. And so when you go to use the annotation tool in the upper right-hand corner, probably next to your viewing Heather's screen, there's a view options tab. And if you click that and go down to annotate, you can choose the annotate tool. I will have it so that people's names are hidden. And then you can choose the text tool or the stamp tool if that's what we're using. And then once you start typing, of course, you can then highlight your text and change the color, size, and style. So again, we're going to be using this tool quite a bit. If you're not familiar with it, you might want to take a screenshot of this. Excellent. Any questions so far? I think you're all a bunch of whizzes. You're a bunch of tech whizzes. So you may not need me, but in case you do, in your chat box, I'd love for you to, if you're having any technical issues, just change that to everyone and change that to me, Heather, and just private text me. That way we're not taking away from the training for other folks. So I'm here to help you in session anytime you have any technical issues. And then, of course, always feel free to unmute if you have timely, relevant questions. Kathy is here to answer those questions during the training. And if you're not sure if your question is timely and relevant, but you have a question and it's not directly for me, but either for the group or Kathy, you can always put that in the chat as well. One of the practices that I like to use is putting 3 question marks before your question. So visually we can just see that and we know, okay, we give that some attention, and then I can either monitor or Kathy might see that. That way we know it's the difference between a question and we're not repeating just what people are saying in the chat. All right, so let me check my list real quick. If any of you it looks like everybody's dialing in with your name, and that's fine. If you ever want to change your name, just a quick review, you can simply find your video on the screen. If you're dialing in on a laptop or a computer, put your, I like to hover the cursor over my nose, and 3 little dots will come up in the upper right-hand corner. And that's where you can go down to rename yourself. And I just renamed myself as tech host. I'll also make sure that that's done for each session, so you can easily find me at the top of the chat. All right. Any questions so far? Does anybody have any accommodations? Just know that if you ever need to turn on the closed captions, that's under more. You can just go to closed captions and decide if you want to show the captions or your full transcript. And then again, I just want to reiterate that your online training is very similar to the in-person training. You'll be spending a lot of time in LearnDash. We also call that, sometimes you'll hear us call that the LMS. And I'm going to go ahead and put 3 links in the chat that are going to be really important to you. If you haven't already gotten into LearnDash, please let us know if you're having any trouble with that, but you're going to want to go there right away. You can go directly to the course page, and there you're going to find all of the modules. You do have to complete each page before it'll take you to the next module. We're going to spend a lot of time in the discussion forum, so please take a moment to introduce yourself there. That's going to be important. And then if you're having any trouble with LearnDash, Melissa has done a really great job of creating a bunch of tutorials for us. So I think that's all I have on my list, unless I've forgotten anything, Kathy.
No, I think you did beautifully. Thank you. Any questions before? Because we are going to go a little bit of a deeper dive into LearnDash. I'll take you into it, kind of show you what it looks like, where we're going to start, and just kind of walking through. But if you have any questions about Zoom, Katie, do you have a question?
Yeah, Kathy, I just wanted to make sure before we go in deeper to that LearnDash setting, was there a certain login information that I was supposed to use to create an account?
Yes, when you registered, you would have gotten an account, and you are in the system. I did see that, and I did send on Friday, and I know somebody else who did not receive one, a packet of information which included your I would have told you about the login, so it would have been at registration. But if you don't have it, just stay on after, and I'll go through and make sure you get into the system.
Okay,
But
great.
I'll
Thanks so much, Kathy.
show you now. So I'm just because I want to make sure that we really get into the LearnDash and that I show it to you. So for some reason, Katie, if you can't stay, just we'll set up a little time to talk after.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Okay,
it should
so
be no problem.
perfect. So when you log in to the system, when you actually get into it, there'll be like a little box, and it'll say at the top of it, it'll be a little picture. It'll say Appreciative Inquiry Facilitator Training, November 2023. So just click on that, and then this will take you to this page. And this is called so funny. They have different little terms for everything. So it's so this will be your I wrote it down here because I wanted to make sure they kind of updated how they changed it. So they'll call this the page. So this is the welcome page, but it's always when you're on this page, when you click on any of these, you'll get a page, and it's called the page. And then afterwards it's the topic. So sometimes if we're talking about the page or the topic, it's the primary one, the link that you have. And then the underneath, which has more reading, videos, and so forth, those will be the topics. So, so this will be what you land on, and so it'll be just your welcome and your introduction, and it has a little bit of information. And don't hesitate to stop me if I'm going too fast, or if you want to kind of land on a place. It has some information about the textbook. Now, over and over again, I'm probably going to tell you is that we do assign chapters 1 through 3 for the beginning of the course. So if you don't have the book already, order it as quickly as you can so that you've at least read the first 3 chapters before next week. The way the course is set up is that you're always ahead of the the course. So when you come into the training, we anticipate that you will do all of the work for that particular course. And so, you know, that section of the course. So you want to make sure that you're always ahead of the documents. So over here are all of the modules, and pretty much the modules will go by the session. So every time we have our 2 hours together, that's kind of a session. So one of these will go pretty much along, and when it doesn't, because there is a couple of places where there's some overlap, we'll let you know in advance. But pretty much, if you follow along in here, this is the course outline. So on this first welcome page, we have the course documents that are going to be needed. I encourage you to create a folder on your desktop or have a file folder for printing things out. So you would click on the syllabus. And so this will just kind of tell you the way the course is built. So this, as Heather mentioned, this particular online version matches the face-to-face. So it's exactly the same course. It's the same materials. Some variation to accommodate the virtual and online atmosphere. So we do have a little bit of a change there, but personally, it's the same content and delivery. So the other thing that's really important is for you to also go to this activity schedule and checklist, because this will tell you what's due for each week. So I will open it up and maybe see if it you'll open it here and see it'll take each Zoom session. So in order to make it easier, we talk about, instead of the module, it's the Zoom session. So this will be what you will prepare for each Zoom session in terms of your reading and the work that you're doing. Any questions about that particular one? Let's see. Oh, so for some reason, I think I need to close that. Okay, there. So even though I have really fast speed, it's taking a long time for me to move. Isn't that interesting? So make sure that you download those and save them. The checklist is really, really important. Now, there's always going to be reading, and it'll be a link. It's a hot link like this. If you later on are going like, where did I see that link? If you come over here to this page here at the top, the course navigation, that's really important, is the course navigation on this side. If you click on the AIFT resource links, this will take you to a page with all of the links. So if you forget, where did I find that out? You know, I didn't save it, I need to get it again. It's always going to be easily found right there. And here are the videos that Heather was talking about that were created. So if you wonder, how do I do this? How do I work on this? This is just a little bit of information about the LearnDash tutorials. And if you'll notice, the same things are here. If you can't find something over here, there's so many different places to find the material. Sometimes it's a little confusing. It's like, why is it here and why is it there? So we are on the page, and I'd want you to also look at, for right now, this particular week, if you do nothing else except in this week, is to learn a little bit about LearnDash, find the materials that you want, download a few materials to get yourself ahead of the next few weeks, because we do move for the next 2 weeks, due days. So if you go into the topics, there'll be the course structure and the action prompts and the introduction. So if you could get to this group of material here and this readings here, then this is going to help you a lot in terms of preparation. So here's the course structure. And if you look here, there's talk a little bit about the different sessions and how we're going to work ahead, how we're going to be together. Just a little bit about asynchronous and synchronous learnings. And here's that little button down at the bottom. There's on every page and on every topic, there's a mark complete. If you click mark complete, then you're going to move ahead to the next one. And that's really important for when we get to the session where we actually do the practicum requirements. And because you'll get your letter of completion for this training, you'll get that automatically in module 8, but you have to have everything marked complete. So always make sure that you've marked complete to move on to the next session. Any questions while I'm right here? Oops, I just lost it. Sorry about that. So now you're going to see me take you all the way through this. Oh, here it is. So one of the things that's really important, and we're going to be doing a lot of work, and in addition to the work that we do in the session, the readings, there's a lot of readings, a lot of videos. So every page has just a video or something to do. Will also be the discussion forum. And that'll be on the left side of your other navigational page. Right here's the discussion forum. So one of the things is we've got some things starred, and so these are just some things that we'll be using a lot in the work that we do. So it has a little bit of a welcome to the forum, and it just tells you a little bit of what the forum is, how we use it, and this will be for us to engage, for you to, as you're doing the readings and doing the works. There's always a question and a prompt in the session, and you come back to the prompt. And you can, that's how you communicate with each other. And that's how you build collaboration. Because I think appreciative inquiry, one of the most exciting parts about it is it really builds relationship. So everything that we do in the course and in the forum is really helping us to build that relationship, even from a distance with each other. So there'll be a little information about in the welcome here. And resource sharing is absolutely a wonderful way. So anytime you have a resource, we're talking about something, and maybe you had some really great resource that you could think of, you could come back here and just put it into you could put it into the chat during the Zoom if you want, but you can also do it here, and it kind of stays with the course for the year, because you do have access to this for 1 year following. The appreciative agreements, which we'll do a lot of work around agreements on our first full session to get together. That's next Monday. So we'll come back and we'll have the appreciative agreements here, and we'll really come back and look at those and how are we living up to our agreements, which is really super important. We'll go deep into appreciative agreements next week. The sustainability garden, sometimes when we're working together, we will have things will arise, and these are very much what we would do in any training, any workshop, any work that we do around appreciative inquiry. We have appreciative agreements, and we also have the sustainability garden. So not a parking lot, because that's, typically you go and his parking lot just kind of stays there, and it's kind of a big old hot mess. Sustainability garden is really, how do we keep things alive? How do we find more energy for that? So it's really things that come up in the training, things that you might have that's like, how do I, or what happened, or what did this mean? One of the things for you to do for next week is to when you come here to the forum, is to do the pre-workshop activity. You click on it, and it will give you the question. And then you can, on the right-hand side there, you'll see reply. You could hit reply, and then you can reply to that particular discussion.
Hello, I have a question. I could not find my hand to raise my hand, but everything you're sharing with us is also listed under the, I can't remember, it's under the work or the worksheet or the agenda or schedule. All of that is listed on the different places we need to go to complete all of these areas you've discussed. Okay.
Yes. For some reason, what has changed a little bit is how we operate within the LMS. And I practiced this yesterday, and I've already failed. For some reason, I can't. So when you actually go to work on this, realize that it's going to take you a little bit of practice. So, and actually, that was exactly what I was going to show you now. Is when you are in the LMS, the best way I found to move around. So if I'm here, if I'm in the topics here, and you can actually see this little tag here where it says Appreciative Inquiry Facilitator Training and then pre-workshop topics. If I go back to Appreciative Inquiry Facilitator Training, that's going to give you that's going to help you move back to the home page where you were actually looking for. So can you ask that question, Tessa, again? Because I just want to make sure were
So
you is this the page you're talking about right here?
so you showed us the checklist that covers from week to week, and there's check boxes that say complete this, and complete this. But what I
Oh,
noticed when you went to the left side and we went to discussion forum, is discussion forum part of that checklist so that we know to cover all those areas?
well, I'm thinking it is. I don't have it printed out in front of me. Let me see. So, no, actually it is not. I don't see it here. But where it's going to be is right here with each item. It'll say, go to the forum. And so here, say for introductions, it will pop up and it'll tell you to go to the forum and do it. I'm going to update that sheet because, like I said, we just made a huge change to the Learn Dash, and I want to make sure that's up to date. So yes, it will always be in one of the topics. It will ask you to go to the forum and do that.
Okay, so we should really focus on the course navigation that will be inclusive of all of this information.
Right. Yeah. And definitely. Heather, did I miss something? I'm thinking that I missed something.
I don't think so. I think going into that discussion forum is just as important. But I would definitely go through all of the course information first, and then going to that discussion forum. This is where you can really connect with each other and share your learnings. Yeah.
So just so that you know, so those first top, some of them were informational with the little stars on it, the little sticky on it, so that they stay at the top. But every module has a forum discussion. So always look to the forum discussion. It's going to be in each module. There will be the forum discussion, and it will be back here. And you hit reply to any. And the other nice thing is you can also start a new discussion if you'd like. If something comes up and you want to start a new discussion, it's always nice to bring it back to the group so that everyone will have that sense of, involvement and understanding where you are. Okay, I'm going to stop share and look at the questions. So any questions that were coming up, and Lisa, thank you so much for asking those questions because that's really important. So I think if I were going to suggest, oh, there you are. So as you're thinking about for next week is to look at just the sticky ones, just to kind of see what's there, and do the first module 1 question, because right now you've got a lot more work than you normally will, probably because you're going to be going through the Learn Dash and trying to get those first that understanding and that deepening engagement with it. It's really, once you do it, it's really pretty easy. I think you'll even find it pretty fun. Look at the videos in the pre-workshop and the video in the session 1 in module 1, and then prepare for the reading. So when you come into module 1 is having done all of the work in module 1, because that's really important. And the LMS itself has so much material and videos and readings, and so always feel comfortable if it's something you can download, just download it and save it to your desktop, because that really does help. Or print it if you're better with printing, and put it into a little notebook so that it's by your side, and do that as well.
I just want to say sorry, I was late. I didn't realize the link, the regular link was the link we were using for today too. So yeah.
Oh, okay. So one of
My
the
mistake,
things
sorry, I was late.
is no problem, is for the sessions itself, we encourage you to as much as possible to be on time, because we start right on time. And if you need to stay a little bit later, I can definitely, stay 15 minutes later if you have additional questions that are just something that relates to your own learning. And so our role is to ensure that you're getting everything out of this training that you want, that you feel, you feel like your learning needs and your instructional needs are adapted, and we can, do that to ensure that we're working as closely with you as possible. So don't hesitate to ask us. But so for the first session next Monday is to be up on your reading with Module 1 and any videos, and look at that first uh, module forum question, and take care of that. Once you've after the first week, you're going to go, oh, okay, this is I really got this. This is easy. Questions. Was everybody able to get into the LMS yet? Did you try? Martha, yay. Tessa, wonderful, good.
Yeah, I'm there too. Yeah, in order to get logged in to this meeting, didn't we have to do that?
Yeah, if you're
That's
here,
okay.
you made it, right? So we do have a small class this time. So I think we have a few more people who will be joining us. So thank you all for letting us record this, because I'll send it out the recording to all of you so that you can remember it. And then those who are not here and able to be here will have access to that. I don't have any other questions, any thoughts. You have been amazing listeners, putting up with us. It's always like a little scary for us as well. It's like all these new people, and we're really looking forward to sharing the journey with you, where you want to go, what you'd like to do, whatever you know about appreciative inquiry or don't know about appreciative inquiry. It's going to be an exciting journey, and we're so thankful to be on it with you. Now, Katie, you wanted to stay on, right, to get logged in? Perfect.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. Same time, same place.
Yeah, for 2 hours though.
Yeah. All right. Looks like Lisa has her hand raised as well.
Hi, Lisa.
I was unmuting. Just one more question is, and you said you were going to send us the link, the video that was, so we could preview, so I could watch it, the whole thing. Today was taped. How will you send that to us?
To your email address.
Okay, that's great. That's what I just was checking. So thank you so much. I'll watch the whole thing.
Okay, thank you.
Looking forward to seeing everyone next week.
Okay, thank you. So, Katie, did you try to log in, or did you not receive the
Yeah, so I'm wondering, because I had the original registration kind of issues that we solved, but I wonder if the information that was supposed to get sent didn't. I was reading that it said it was supposed to send me an email with the login information, and that's what I'm not seeing.
Oh, okay. So the login. Now I remember we had oh, somebody tried to get into our session but couldn't make it. Huh. So let me see. So you didn't receive any login information.
No.
Okay. So when we set you up, kind of remind me, because I had a couple of people with did we use a different email for you? Was that the
No, I don't think so. So when I originally registered for the course, it charged me twice, but then didn't send me
Oh,
the
that's right.
confirmation
That's
things.
right.
Mhm.
So let me just look at my so I have you as using Parker Katie 11@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to go into the back end of LearnDash just to see what we have you there as.
Okay. Thank you so much.
No problem, no problem. Apologize, it'll just take a second to get to the back end and the right page.
No problem at all.
well, while I'm here, I'm just looking to make sure that everything's set up correct. So it might just take a little bit.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. So it looks like you're in. So I'm going to do a reset. Okay. And I'll reset your password. So it's using your Gmail account in the
Perfect.
back end. So that's what, and so I will do I'm just going to go ahead and reset it to you and send it via email to you right now.
Okay. Great.
And
So then I would just recreate the password.
yeah, because I
Perfect.
yeah, and then what you do is you just recreate your password. So were you able to find at least get to the page and see where it was? Did you get the instructions from me on Friday?
Yes, I did get that email.
Okay, okay. My I have something on my hand and I can't hardly type anywhere. So
Oh,
so let me see if I can. Okay, okay. All right. So you should get that. Now tell me that if you do.
okay, let's see. All right, looks like it showed up. Now,
Do
is
you
that
want to just go
a,
ahead and try it while you're
yeah, sorry, was that a link that I needed to be able to access?
oh, well, it's the CAI, it's on the CAI page. Let me see.
It looks like it just sent maybe an incomplete link.
Incomplete link.
It looks like it's just several letters and numbers and kind of a stream of things, but it doesn't register as a clickable active link.
Oh, to the actual page for registration.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, or for getting into it. So that would be the same page, but I will go ahead and that would be our website page. That would be the same page that was sent to you in the email for going to
So,
that link.
let's see.
I'm gonna put that into the. I just didn't want to put your password into the.
Oh no, that's okay. Oh wait, maybe it. Let's see. Did
Okay.
that work for me? Maybe it did. Oh, I think I'm in.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Then let's see. Account details and courses.
Maybe the
Let me
reset.
just
Yeah.
double check. Yeah. Okay, it looks like I'm in. There we go.
Yay!
Fabulous. Thank you so much for your help, Kathy.
No problem. No problem. It's so go ahead and just play with it as much as possible. You
Perfect.
can, and when we come back, we'll have a little bit of time on Monday in case there's some issues. And we can always
Great.
stay after. I can stay after.
Bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank
See
you.
you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So I just got a note.